let me introduce you to my newest obsession, pineapple loaf. It's sweet, tangy, and every bite tastes like a tropical vacation. Pineapple loaf is a top-tier treat in a league of its own. She's beauty, she's grace, she's tropical all up in your face. Jokes aside, this is one easy dessert you're going to be making again and again. Now, I'm sure that it will surprise no one that fruity loaves like lemon, raspberry, and even this pineapple are essentially cakes. That's right, in a strange turn of events, the loaf is actually a lie, not the cake. But let's not get caught up in the details. Instead, let's start by adding our wet ingredients into a medium bowl. That's 1 whole egg, 2 egg yolks, save the whites, 3/4 cups of dairy-free yogurt, doesn't have to be dairy-free for you, just for me, a half cup of canola oil, 4.5 teaspoons of pineapple juice, and 1 cup of sugar. Yes, in baking, sugar is considered a wet ingredient, not a dry. This is because it melts. Ever held a pot of melted sugar? There's no question that that's a liquid, and a dangerous one at that. Ever want to scare your cook friend? Ask them to play around if the floor is molten sugar. See how quickly those cookies run. Now mix until your sugar is nice and dissolved. Check this by taking a little bit between 2 fingers and rubbing them together. If you feel it feels like sand, then continue mixing. If you don't, then it's time to move on to our dry ingredients. Sift in 1 3/4 cup of flour, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and of course salt, about a 1/4 teaspoon. Now the trick to that picture-perfect latte lover's loaf is this, egg whites. You see, while perusing the ingredients list of a beloved fruit-flavored pastry from a certain coffee corporation, I noticed that they use both whole eggs and egg whites. Any guesses why? Well, my baking senses are telling me that someone is folding in some whipped egg whites. So we will too. So using the 2 egg whites that you reserved earlier, add a 1/4 teaspoon of pineapple juice and whip until stiff peaks. Perfect. Okay, so the trick here is we don't want to overmix. If we were to overmix, then we would deflate all the air bubbles that we've worked hard to create. We just want everything nice and incorporated. So what we want to do is fold in the egg whites. Then our cake, loaf, is good to go. Now into a lined loaf pan. Like my kitty clips? I'm definitely an orange cat type beat. With that now in its pan, into a 350 Fahrenheit or 177 degrees Celsius oven it goes for 50 minutes. We're looking for an internal temperature of 210 degrees Fahrenheit or 98 degrees Celsius. If you don't have one of these, it might be time to pick one up. I use a thermometer to check the internal temperature of my cake to measure the doneness. Sure, the toothpick might come out clean at X temperature, but it also will at every temperature above that. Your cake might very well be overbaked. We wouldn't want that. While that's cooking, we're going to start making our pineapple simple syrup. If you're a fan of moist cakes, then you're a fan of simple syrup. This one-step wonder is a super easy way to take your cakes from good to great. On medium-high heat, mix a 1/2 cup of sugar, a 1/4 cup of water, and a 1/4 cup of pineapple juice. Oh, that's not a lot. The liquid is definitely going to evaporate too quickly. We're going to double the recipe real quick. Hold on. Now keep stirring until it reaches a simmer and your sugar is fully dissolved. Allow your syrup to cool before drizzling it over your freshly baked pineapple loaf. You won't need all of it, so feel free to freeze the rest for future use. Our cake is now absorbing all of that delicious pineapple simple syrup, so while it's doing that, let's get started on icing. Now I'm looking for thick icing, not like donut icing, something more substantial. So we're taking inspiration from bundt cakes, and that thick layer of icing you see poured on top. So in a medium bowl, mix 2.5 cups of powdered sugar, 2 tablespoons of pineapple juice, and 2 tablespoons of dairy-free milk until it becomes a thick icing. Pour that over your cooled loaf and let set for just 30 minutes. To help pass the time, how about hitting that subscribe button and the bell next to it? That way you're always notified when I post a new video. Ooh, these results look promising. Oh yes, that's a win. Just look at the crumb on that slice. Now to see how it tastes. That face says it all. Pineapple loaf is delicious. From my kitchen to yours, eat happy.